Hello everyone, welcome to ASP.NET MVC4 video series. In this video, I'm going to demonstrate a new feature called display modes in the ASP.NET MVC4. This is very helpful when we are developing the mobile web applications. So I'm going to create a new ASP.NET MVC4 project. File, new project. Let's choose MVC4, say OK, and choose the internet application. Again say OK. So you can create a new ASP.NET MVC4 project dialog. Instead of that, I'm going to pull up my an existing ASP.NET MVC4 internet template application. So I don't have any additional code written here, just this is already created just to save the time. So just I'm building this application and run this. This is new ASP.NET MVC4 internet application template output. Close this. Now I'm going to get into the details of the display modes. Out of the box, ASP.NET MVC4 comes with two display modes, one for mobile, one for desktop. To show that, I'm going to global.asax. So in the global.asax, already I have one line of code written which is commented. So that is display mode provider, so which is a very important class when you are dealing with the display modes. So it has couple of properties like instance. Again, instance will have another property called modes, so which will actually return the list of the display modes available in the ASP.NET MVC4. I'm going to uncomment that code and put a breakpoint here and run this application once again. So just if I hover in the smart list, you can see the available display modes, or you can use any of the debugging option in the Visual Studio. I'm going to look at the locals window, and here I have the display modes. So the count is 2, and if I look at the first display mode, each display mode will have a property called display mode ID. So the value of the first display mode is mobile, and if I look at the second display mode, and the value of the display mode ID is empty. So these display mode IDs are nothing but the suffixes of the view pages which are going to be rendered for a particular browser. I'm going to comment this code once again. I don't need this code really, just to show you the available display modes. I'm using this one line of code. Now I'm going to just demonstrate the available display modes. To do that, I'm going to the views folder, going to the home. Here if I look at, I have the couple of pages like index.cshtml, contact.cshtml. I'm going to use the index.html, so which is my home page of my application. I'm going to do a copy paste. So the index.cshtml, it's a regular name, so this view name don't have any suffix. So this page will be rendered for any desktop browser which is requesting. And I'm going to rename this page copy of index.cshtml to index.cshtml. So it's giving me some warnings. I'm trying to rename it because I'm trying to type without any extension name. So let me say index.mobile. Let me rename my copy of index.cshtml. So I'm going to rename it to the index.mobile.cshtml. So in these two pages, just I'm going to add one more line of code. So this is already has that. So as a h1 with a desktop page. If I go to mobile page and change it to mobile. So save this, close this, close this, close. So let's build the application just to make sure there are no errors, and run the application once again. So here is your home page, index page. Just let me navigate through the other pages. let's say come back to the home page. However, you are requesting from the Internet Explorer, which is a desktop browser, of course it's going to render the desktop page only. So let me try to do the same experiment with a Mozilla also. Say go on paste, of course again it is going to render the desktop page. I'm going to minimize this, and I'm going to pull up my developer toolbar. Let me go to tools and developer tools. In the developer tools, if I go to tools option, I have change user agent string, so which will help me to change the browser behavior. So now I'm going to convert this browser to Apple Safari iPad. I think, but I'm converting this browser to a mobile browser. Now this is not an Internet Explorer, this is an iPad browser. Let me refresh this page. So now you will get a mobile page. And let me try to go to this. Let me try to refresh. Of course, as you are requesting from the Mozilla, this is a desktop browser. It's going to render the desktop page. Again, you are in the Internet Explorer, but we changed the user agent string to the Safari, so that's why it's rendering the mobile page. So now, when you want to deal with more specific views and more specific devices and browsers, you can write your own custom display modes in the global.ax to address the different browsers and the different devices. So how to deal with that? Again, let me pull my global.ax once again, and here I am going to add my own display modes. So I have already couple of lines of code is already written, just I am dragging and dropping that. So here I am registering my own display modes and my own display modes for the different types of the device and the browser. So I am registering 3 display modes, so for famous 3 smartphones. So to do that, first you need to create an instance of a default display mode class with a property called context condition, which is actually going to check the user agent string of the device browser, and this should be inserted in the display mode provider dot instance dot modes. So I'm doing the same thing from all the 3 major mobile device browsers, one for Windows Phone, one for iPhone, one for Android. So in the constructor of the default display mode class, you are just providing a string. This string is actually going to be the suffix or the display mode ID. Let me close this. So let me add couple of more pages. I'm going to change this mobile to a WP. So for the Windows Phone, I'm going to design this page, and let's say this is Windows Phone page. And again I'm going to do one more copy paste, and I'm going to add this page for iPhone. Right. So close this, save all, and build the application once again, and now run this. So now can you guess what it is going to render? Of course we are requesting from the IE, so it is rendering the desktop page. Now let's change the user agent string. From the default I'm going to switch to Mozilla and refresh. Of course it will enter the desktop page. Let's go to tools, let's go to change user agent string, and let's say Apple Safari iPod, and refresh. So it's rendering the mobile page. We are requesting from an iPad, not from the iPhone. So to demonstrate that, I'm going to copy this URL. Let me open my Mozilla Firefox. Let me do a paste and go. It renders on a desktop page. So my Mozilla has an add-on called user agent switcher. So using this, I'm going to switch my Mozilla to an iPhone. Let's say iPhone and refresh. So it's rendering the iPhone page. Now let me do the same testing with the Windows Phone also. And, OS Windows, let's say Windows 7.5 and refresh. So it's rendering the Windows Phone page. So this is how the display modes works with a one simple line of code. So in your application, if you are each page you are designing for different types of the browsers and different types of the mobile devices and tablets to provide a good user experience to the user, so display modes are really helpful.